MP to all cars. Armed robbery on security vehicle
Juliet
now.
4 to MP.
4 men.
Of watch.
Juno 1 to MP. Disturbance in High Street. Gang of youths
MP
fighting
to
with
Golf
knives.
1-1.
Request assistance, over.
Suspects on
All right, for the 10th time, what is your name? Look, all I want is a statement. To take a statement, we have to write the time, which is 2:30 a.m., and then your name.
Show me where it says you have a right to have my name.
I have a right to...
You have no right to have me here at all. I want a lawyer.
Then let's have your lawyer's name.
I want to know why I'm being kept here.
Tell him, Tully.
You're here because we have a 999 call about you, and you were picked up after midnight in a lane behind Ensley Street.
Oh, it's a crime to be in that lane.
No, but it may be an offence to be there in the dark and to be found with these in your possession.
With what in my possession?
Could be housebreaking tools.
I don't know anything about housebreaking tools.
What's this then?
That's a tack lifter, didn't you know, for taking up carpets. These are pills from my doctor, if you want to know. And that is a Bible, in case you haven't seen one before.
And this?
It's my knife.
Why are you carrying a knife?
Now look, copper, don't try it on with me. We both know what it's like round here at night. Places rotten with muggers. Nobody is safe.
Is that what you think?
That is just a knife you can buy anywhere. You're trying it on, aren't you?
And what about this piece of plastic?
What about it? Hundreds of people have bits of plastic.
Not hundreds of people who won't give their name. Now, who are you? Tully, did you find anything else?
No, Sergeant. I've been through his jacket, every inch, including the torn lining. Nothing to identify him.
Oh, dear, makes you mad, doesn't it?
Shut up. Tully, get on to CRO and give them his description. See what you can come up with.
Yes, Sergeant.
CRO, is it? Asking help from the brains. Computers and all that.
Yeah,
I'm giving you bother, aren't I?
and we could do without it.
Want to know what I was doing?
Yes, I'd like to know.
I was just on my way home.
You live in Ensley Street?
No.
Where?
I went to see a pal to borrow that tack lifter. I was just going to fix a bit of carpet.
And?
On the way home, you lot came crashing into the street.
And you ran into the lane.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because nobody trusts cops at night. Not when they come in a mob. You get out of their way.
Oh?
They're violent, that's why. And they're bent.
Do you think so, do you?
I know so. You've got me here, haven't you? I've done nothing. But because your pals assaulted me, you have to fit me up. That's being bent.
I see.
When my lawyer gets here, you're in dead trouble. Assault, illegal arrest, serve you bloody well right.
Give me a lawyer's name.
You'll have no help from me, mate. You're on your own.
Come in!
Busy, Dave?
No, not really, sir. Only a lad here who won't give his name, won't give his address. He's standing on his rights.
Oh, yeah? What's your name, lad?
Who are you?
I'm Chief Inspector Roach. Now, who are you?
No comment.
Where do you live?
No comment.
As you wish. I want a word with you, Dave. Put him in the cells until he learns some sense.
Yes, sir. Constable? Yes, sir. Take him to the jailer. I'll send for him when we know who he is.
This way, lad. In you go.
Hey! You!
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Then keep it quiet. It's 3 in the morning. Your pal in there wants to sleep.
Amen to that.
What'd you say?
I said, let's all have a spot of quiet, old chap.
You speak for yourself, mate.
It's going to be like that, is it?
Yeah? Like that.
These cells have ears, old man, and the cops listen. Best to keep the voice down.
Who are you?
The name's Rennie. What's yours?
How long do they keep us here?
Until morning in the magistrate's court, old chap. Or until they want us upstairs again. It's your first time.
First time? Is that what you think?
If you don't know the drill and you don't know to keep your voice down, it has to be.
The only first time about me, mate. It's the first time they've had me in here, that's all.
A surprise, is it?
Don't you worry, I'll be out by morning.
Glad to hear it, old chap. As I said, my name's Rennie. Richard Arthur Rennie. What's yours?
I don't tell anybody my name. Especially them.
Then you won't be out by morning.
Who says?
The magistrate. They hold you until they know who you are.
They can't do that.
They can, old chap. You might be the Yorkshire Ripper. They have to fingerprint you to see if you have a record.
They'll be wasting their time, mate. I've got no record. They don't have nothing on me.
Well, that's it, Dave. You can take the file and when you have time to do a report, just do a couple of pages.
Yes, sir.
Now you can get back to your mystery guest downstairs. What's he done?
Well, we had a 999 from a lady in Ensley Street. He was seen in a back garden. Suspected housebreaking.
Caught in the act?
No, worse, like he was running away. He went wild when our lads nabbed him, gave a lot of trouble. But the 999 lady identified him.
He won't give his name. And that's why you're holding him?
Could be a waste of time, but I think he's scared of something.
Well, a spell in the cells will cool him off.
Do they keep us here all night?
Until court in the morning. Then it's bail or remand to Brixton. Have they charged you?
Nah, I'm not caught, mate. Because they didn't find anything, did they? Nothing to pin on me, I'm a mile ahead. Got a fag?
Lots of bad habits, but not that one. Sorry.
What are you in for?
Cash flow, old chap. They call it, mistakenly, getting money by false pretences. In the jargon, I'm a con man.
Good at it?
I get along.
But you've been here before.
Not in this particular nick, but as you put it, I've been here before.
You're not all that smart then, are you? You keep getting caught.
I have to agree with you, old man. You see, after the first mistake, we all keep getting caught.
Not me, mate.
Hail Caesar.
Do what?
And now, if you'll forgive me, experience tells me that we should get some shut-eye before morning, to look fresh and contrite before the beak. And before you go to sleep...
Sleep? Where?
That is your bed. A bit hard, but you'll get used to it. Before you doze off, a word of advice. If you're sure they have nothing on you, don't boast about it.
Is that so?
Yes, friend. You talk too much.
Tully,
Yes, Sarge.
did CRO have anything?
No, nothing. I tried them with his age, build, accent. I even tried them with the Bible. Nothing. Like he's the invisible man. This Bible, he could have nicked it.
Do people nick Bibles?
Well, they take everything else.
Tell me, when you went there, why did you nick him?
The way he behaved, Sarge. Guilty. Like, when we tried to speak to him, he went white. I thought he was going to pass out.
A bloke goes white, so you nick him?
No, when he recovered, he tried to do a vanishing act. It took 4 of us to hold him. He gave a lot of aggro. The only way was to bring him in.
Aggro because he was innocent or because he had something to hide?
Something to hide. He was fighting to get away.
Yeah, I think so too. Is he local?
We don't know.
What's the time?
Nearly 4 o'clock.
He'll be asleep. Let's have another go at him while he's drowsy. Wake him and bring him to me.
Yes, Sarge.
Come in.
The prisoner, sir.
Bring him in, Constable.
What's all this about the prisoner?
Slip of the tongue. You are as yet a suspected person detailed for inquiries.
Suspected of what?
You've been told all that. Did you sleep well?
You joking? You got no right to wake me up.
We're all awake because of you.
Then charge me. Go on, write it down. Say what it is. Charge me.
We have inquiries to make.
Charge me or let me go.
You heard what Sergeant Brooks said. We have inquiries to make.
You're still figuring out how you can fit me up.
If you'll give me your name...
Sergeant,
Yes, Constable?
can I have a word?
In a minute. So, you're not going to tell us anything?
I've told it all, but you won't listen.
Tell me again.
I went to see a friend. Can you understand that?
The name of your friend. I've had enough of this, Tully. Take him back to the cells. Let him sleep.
Thanks for nothing.
This way, lad. Come on.
Now, Constable, you were saying?
It's about the prisoner, Sergeant.
Yes?
Well, I think one of the beat men knows who he is.
You think?
Well, when he saw the lad at the desk, he said, "What's he in for?" No, wait, he said, "Why have they brought him in?"
Who said it?
P.C. Edwards.
Well, go after Tully. Tell him to let Edwards have a look at him in the cell. On the side, don't let anyone know. Then have P.C. Edwards brought to me.
Yes, Sergeant.
Come in.
P.C. Edwards, Sergeant.
Come in, Constable. Well, did you have a look at him?
Yes, Sarge.
Know him?
Well, I've known him for a couple of years or more.
Ah, what's his name?
Ferris. Tony, he's called. Anthony Ferris.
Good. Anything known against him?
No, Sergeant. To my knowledge, he's always been a decent bloke.
Do you know where he lives?
In Church Street, number 34.
What, with his parents?
In digs, on his own.
How long?
Well, he's been there over a year. His landlady's Mrs. Graham. You could speak to her.
Is he out of work?
No, he's always had a job. Until a year ago, he worked for Smith & Cordell in the High Street. Now he's set up on his own.
What does he do?
TV repairs. They say he's a good engineer, building up a nice little business for himself.
Do you know his friends?
Well, 1 or 2 of them.
Does he have one who lives in a street where, going home at night, he'd go by Ensley Street?
Well, let me see. He could have. Yeah, his apprentice, Alan Jarvis, lives in Maple Street.
So you know him as a nice, quiet, law-abiding lad?
That's my experience. Yes, Sergeant. Is that it?
Yeah, Thank you. OK, Tully. What do you think now?
It doesn't fit, does it?
You still have that feeling?
Yeah.
Yes, so do I. And when it's just a feeling, you have to prove it. Now that we know who he is, you go and see his landlady in the morning, then his pal Jarvis, and then call on his old boss at Smith and Cordell.
Yes, Sarge.
Oi.
Oh,
What's the time?
can't you sleep?
What, in a bed like this?
It's 5:54. Don't you have a watch?
No, they took it. And they took me Bible.
Your Bible?
Yeah, thought it all out. If you have a Bible on you, the cops must think you're good. You know, like religious. It bothers them, like they made a mistake.
They might just think you're a little odd.
Watch it. Yeah, what's happening?
Morning tea on the way, old chap.
Two teas.
Thank you, Sergeant. Very kind of you.
Is this all we get?
No, morning tea at 6, breakfast at 7:30. Then wash and shave and off to be presented at court.
Not for me, mate. Ugh. This tea's horrible.
I've tasted worse, old chap. I've tasted worse.
CID, Sergeant Brook. CRO. Have you anything on Ferris yet? Anthony Ferris, aged about 24, height 5'7", dark hair. You've nothing. Right, thanks.
Come in, Dave. How's it going?
Getting nowhere, sir. We know who he is, but it's no help. CRO have got nothing. Tully's seen his landlady. She says he's a quiet lad, home most nights, repairing TV sets, cassette decks.
What about the pal he was visiting?
He was. The pal confirms it.
So? You've made a mistake?
No, sir.
Well?
Well, it's a gut feeling, sir, that we have our hands on something, if only we knew what.
The knife still bothers you?
Yeah.
He's downstairs, isn't he, with that con man, Rennie?
Yes, sir.
Have a word with Rennie before he goes to court. See if they've been talking to each other.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Oh, there you are, Sarge.
Get anything?
Yeah, and different this time. I saw his old boss at the TV shop. It seems they had to get rid of him.
Why?
What you were wondering about. His temper. His boss, a Mr. Smith, said Ferris just couldn't stand being told he was wrong. Sudden bursts of rage, he called it. He went to his doctor and got pills to calm him down. But he still lost him too many customers and had to be fired. That's why he set up on his own.
It's beginning to make sense. Bring Rennie up. I want a word with him. Sit down, Mr. Rennie.
Thank you.
Sorry to mess you about, but I'd like a word with you.
Something wrong with my statement?
No, your statement's fine. I want to talk to you about your cellmate. Not your type, is he?
No.
What's he been saying?
I'd rather talk about myself, old chap, if you don't mind.
All right, talk about yourself.
Well, there's the court this morning, old chap, and the problem of bail. Could we talk about that?
Why not? Let's say if your lawyer asks for bail, we may not object.
I see. Thank you. Now, what did you want to know?
About your cellmate. Has he been talking?
He does nothing else, never stops. Always showing off.
Has he told you his name? Said what he's been doing?
No. No name and no confession.
Then what does he talk about?
About how smart he is. How he's got you running in circles, getting nowhere. And that you'll have to let him go.
Do you believe him?
He believes it. Says it's his first time, and you've nothing on him.
His first time?
Well, the first time you've caught him. So he says, and keeps saying it. Is it?
Yes, it seems to be, yeah.
Well, he's right about that then, isn't he?
What do you think of him, Mr. Rennie?
Well...
Come on. A con man has to be a good judge of character.
Just between ourselves?
Yeah.
I think he's unbalanced and dangerous. And I think he's getting scared.
Just what we thought. Well, thank you, Mr. Rennie.
I applied for bail, old chap.
Yeah? Well, good luck with it. Your PC's waiting in the corridor. He'll take you to court.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you, sir. Well, it looks like we're right, Sarge.
Yeah, but it's still all feeling and no evidence. So, we go to his digs in Church Street and turn it over.
Hello, Mrs. Graham.
Oh, hello, Mr. Tully. Back again, are you?
Yes, with my sergeant, Detective Sergeant Brook.
Good morning, Mrs. Graham. Sorry to trouble you, but may I have a look at Mr. Ferris's room?
He's not in trouble, is he?
No. He's just helping us with some inquiries, Mrs. Graham, and we'd like to have a look at his room.
I don't know if I should. But if you're the police, I suppose it's all right. If you'll come with me. This is his room. It's a bit untidy, but he doesn't like me touching his things.
How long has Mr. Ferris been lodging with you?
More than a year.
A good lodger, is he?
Very nice young man, never gives any trouble.
Does he stay out late?
Not much. He's got his radios and tellies to repair. He works late on them. Oh, like those two over there.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to be here long?
You can stay if you want.
No, thank you. I've got cleaning to do.
Right. We'll call you when we leave.
All right. Don't move his stuff now. He doesn't like it.
Well, it all looks very ordinary, Sarge.
Yeah.
A bloke on his own. 2 TVs in for repair. Customers' names on the labels.
Yeah.
Notice something, Sarge? The labels. Plastic. Like the piece he had in his pocket.
Just one of his labels?
Or did he use it for housebreaking? Well, it's flexible enough for slipping airlocks, isn't it?
I think it was for housebreaking. And that's what we're looking for.
What?
Well, something he's nicked. Anything that looks unusual. I mean, the TVs and his repair kit are usual. Sort of things we'd expect him to have. So are these TV manuals. Right, you do the chest of drawers, I'll do the wardrobe. Well, there's nothing unusual here. Jeans, trousers, spare shoes.
Nothing over here but shirts, socks, ties, pyjamas.
Try the top drawers.
No, nothing in this one but a hairbrush and a Bible.
Another Bible? Let's have a look.
Well, we're in Church Street, remember? Right place to find a Bible.
Yeah, the church was pulled down 10 years ago. But as you say, right place. There's a name inside it. Mary Ferris, could be his mum. Lots of notes in the margins. Passages underlined. Red ink.
His old woman was a Bible thumper.
Looks like it. Maybe she drummed it into him.
The wrath of God.
Yeah.
There's an empty pill bottle in here.
For his sudden fits of rage, eh?
And an old watch. Silver. The spring's broken.
Let's see it. Yeah, it's broken, all right. Why would he keep a broken watch?
Sentimental reasons? His old man's?
Could be. There's a lot of things we don't know about young Mr. Ferris. Like why he wouldn't give us his name. Why he boasted to Rennie that we'd have to let him go.
Well, he does run a business. Doesn't want folk to know he's in the nick.
Boasts to Rennie that it's the first time he's been caught. I've been thinking about what you said. When you jumped him in the dark, he thought you'd been waiting for him. That you trapped him. He nearly passed out. Then at the station, he realised it was different. You didn't know who you called.
What do you think he's done then?
I don't know. It's what we're here to find out.
Yes, Sarge. There's a photo of him here. Do you want it?
Yeah, might be useful. Hey, and this might be. Yeah, look at this. What do you think?
An old brooch.
2 old brooches, in fact. They're in this box.
Not hardly worth nicking. You wouldn't get 5p for the pair of them.
And the fasteners are broken. Pretty cheap.
An old watch and 2 brooches. He keeps broken things.
In you go, Mr. Rennie.
Thank you.
Ah, you're back again.
Yes, been presented at court, old boy.
What happened?
No trouble. Applied for bail. Bail granted.
How much?
2 sureties of £500.
£1,000? Can you pay it?
Well, I did take the victim for 20,000, old boy. Quiet word from my lawyer and the cash will appear. I'll be on my way home in a couple of hours.
It's all right for some. You have a lawyer?
Of course.
But you'll go to jail in the end.
Don't we all, old chap? Don't we all?
Not me, mate.
If you need a lawyer, I'll have a word with mine.
He's good.
Knows all the tricks. But he'd want to know what you've done.
Stuff him. I can look after myself.
Only trying to help.
Well, there's nothing else over here. You finished, Tully?
Just a jiff, Sarge.
We found something?
No, not much. Just 3 old medals behind the settee.
Oh, what, hidden, were they?
No, just fallen down the back. See?
Oh, World War II, these are. That's the desert one. This is the victory one. Don't know about that one.
Before my time.
Don't be cheeky.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Not much for 2 hours searching. Are we taking him?
Well, we got nothing else. Yeah, let's take him.
Your prisoner, Sergeant.
Sit down, lad. Well, this time we don't have to play the name game. Have a look at this photo.
What?
It's you. We found it at your digs. Your name is Anthony Ferris. You lodge at 34 Church Street.
Okay, my name's Ferris. So what do you want?
A little more cooperation than we've had to date and straight answers to our questions.
What questions?
Well, now that we have your name, we still have to take that statement, remember? So you won't mind if DC Tully takes a few notes? Oh, let's have those things on the table, Tully.
Yes, Sarge.
An old watch. Is it yours?
Yeah, but it's broken.
So why keep it?
I repair things. I put it in a junk shop years ago. I thought if I could fix it, it could be worth a few quid, silver.
Which junk shop?
In Camden Way.
How about these brooches?
Can I have a look?
Sure.
Well, they're broken too. But it's the first time I've seen them.
They were in your room.
Well, an old lady had the room before me. Maybe she left them. You could ask Mrs. Graham.
And these?
The medals?
DC Tully thinks they belong to your dad.
Nah. He wasn't in the war. I just picked them up.
Where?
Same place, Camden Market. It's my hobby, medals.
Is it?
That's the military medal. That one's the African Star, 8th Army. This one's for Europe, isn't it? Like D-Day for bravery. Well, I didn't like seeing them end up on a junk stall, so I bought them.
You buy a lot of stuff in the market?
Yeah, I go looking for old TVs and radio parts useful for my job, and medals, when I can find them.
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nah. Is that it? Can I go now? Can I have my things back?
Just wait here with DC Tully. He'll write out your statement. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Well, Dave, did you get his statement?
Yes, sir. He's the smoothest liar I've ever talked to. He's got a story for everything.
Yes, well, Crime Intelligence have come up with a story for everything as well. And I doubt if the stories are quite the same. They went back 8 months. Have a look. And let me handle this one with you.
If you want it, sir.
When you've read the report, we'll pay our Mr. Ferris a visit. All right, Ferris. I'm Chief Inspector Roach. Remember?
Yes, sir.
I understand that you've now made a statement. Tully?
Here it is, sir.
Has he read it?
Yes, sir.
If you are satisfied that it is a true statement, Mr. Ferris, you may like to sign this.
Yeah, all right.
All right, thank you.
Is that it now?
Not quite, no. I've still got to check your statement. When you first came to our attention, Mr. Ferris, we had a complaint that you were trying to break into a house at number 5 Ensley Street, the home of an elderly woman who lives alone.
I was on my way home.
I see. And you had in your possession these articles. A plastic card, which we know can be used to open a door lock or turn a window catch. A large tack lifter, which can be used as a jemmy. And a knife with a very handy blade.
Yeah, what is all this?
1 or 2 items which you haven't answered to our satisfaction, Mr. Ferris. Now let's begin with the 2 brooches. Sergeant?
They're identified as being among the property stolen from a Mrs. Brent 3 months ago. A plastic card job, sir. And the lady was brutally beaten by a young man who threatened her with a knife. Took her savings of £200 and her jewel box.
Ferris, that jewel box contains some valuable items, but also 2 brooches with broken pins. Items that a thief would not be able to sell.
I've never seen them before. They must have been left in my room.
They couldn't have been, lad. You've been there a year. The brooches were stolen 3 months ago. And now the silver watch. Sergeant?
Property stolen from Mr. Todd, a pensioner, 2 months ago. Again, a plastic card job. He was badly abused by a young man with a flaming temper who threatened him with a knife. The thief took his savings of £600 and other valuables, including a silver watch.
The watch was broken, Ferris, but the thief didn't know that. It seems that he kept it to repair. You tell us you're good at repairing things, Ferris.
I told you I bought it.
Your statement says you bought it more than a year ago. It was still in Mr. Todd's house 2 months ago. And now we come to the medals. Sergeant?
Mrs. Morris, sir. An elderly widow on her own. The window catch had been forced. The thief was a young man with a terrible temper who threatened her with a knife.
She was robbed of her savings, £1,200, and what she treasured most, her late husband's war medals.
No, I told you where I got them.
The old lady tried to save them, but the young man lost his temper.
You can buy these things anywhere. I told you.
No, Ferris. Not these. At least not this one. It's the military medal. A personal award. It has a name engraved on the edge. Read it. Well, go on, read it! Well, all right. I'll read it to you. The lady's name was Morris, and on the medal, Staff Sergeant Morris. It also has his army number and his regiment. It is a medal that the regiment will always buy. They're not found in junk shops.
That's rubbish.
The old lady tried to save them, and the thief stabbed her 7 times, took the money and the medals, left her unconscious, and she died.
No.
2 charges of theft with violence leading to a final charge of murder.
No, I didn't.
Tully,
Sir.
take him downstairs.
You look like you've seen a ghost, old chap.
Leave me alone, for God's sake, leave me alone.
Are you all right?
They said it was murder. I didn't murder her. I didn't know the old bitch had died.
I warned you, old chap. You talked too much.